Welcome PS4. Thank you for being here today. There are more people coming in. That's great. If we have teachers in the class, um, I want you to help me if we have a breakout room. Can you guys help me with make the students speak a little and interact with each other? Since this is an online class, sometimes it's difficult for them because they don't know each other. It's different when you are in a classroom and you know your classmates, but here they're from all over the country. So it's new. So sometimes they get nervous. Teachers get nervous. I don't know why, and I get nervous. I shouldn't, but since this is new, e-teachers. Okay, so let me share my screen. Today, as I say, we're going to continue with Unit 10. And it's a lesson 3. So before we start, make sure to have your pen, pencil, paper, water. Try to be in a quiet place. Bring your comfortable, make yourself comfortable. Bring something to cover yourself because it's super cold. And if you have your books, please bring your books. If you don't have your books, don't worry. The activities is you can write it down in a piece of paper. So I want to know, how was your week and how was the weather like during this week? You're like, oh, teacher is always asking the same question. I have to ask the same question because I want to know about you. How was your week and how was the weather like? Oops. How was the weather like? Can you write your answers in the chat box? It was okay. The weather was sunny. It was cold, it was windy. Today is cold and sunny, yes. Very early in the morning was cloudy, but very windy. But what about from Monday to Friday? How was your week? Was it okay? Okay. Kenji had a lot of homework. Okay. The sun is shining. Nice. But you have to stay in the sun because if you're outside and you're not in the sun and you are in the shadow and it's very cold. You love cold, Jonathan. Okay, very good. And what I always do is I ask these questions because I want to know about you and also because our unit has a lot to do with weather. We are learning vocabulary about weather, right? So I want to let you know how my week went. So these are my pets, Coco and Negri. So they were happy because it was sunny, right? So they were outside, they were enjoying the sun, and they were taking a nap. Well, they take naps forever. Okay, and then it was windy, and my plant lost all its leaves. I have a backyard and I tried to have a garden, so I bought this plant, and because of the wind, leaves are gone. Another thing that happened this week, it rained, and my patio was flooded. As you can see, there is a lot of water here. So it was flooded, right? And so this is 1 week. Winter is coming, the entire thing all at once in 1 week, right? So this is Paraguay. Sometimes we have, as I say last class, we have Very different seasons and one day, right? Okay, let's move on. I don't know if you like, if you've seen this series, sitcom. I love God. Okay. So since I was telling you about my week and you were telling me about your week, good morning, Victor. Hi, Victoria. So we're going to watch a video. Last class, I shared with you a video. It was a long video, but I couldn't share the whole video with you, and I didn't ask as many questions as I was supposed to ask you. But what I did is I shortened this video so you can focus on the things that happens there, and I want you to take notes, okay? So what is happening in the video? And remember, we're talking about weather. So the vocabulary is about weather. So you have to write as many words as you can while you are listening and watching the video. Okay? Are you guys ready? Let's start then.
This is the worst drought to hit South Africa since 1982.
The National Weather Service has called this a once-in-a-thousand-year storm.
Washington State is having its worst fire season ever.
The city is now facing an unprecedented flood event.
This one, they're saying, is the worst one yet.
Just going by the dire predictions of weather reporters, it seems as if a once-in-a-thousand-year storm is happening every single year. Multi-year droughts have ravaged reservoir supplies and agriculture in western United States and southern and eastern African countries like Ethiopia, Kenya, Somalia, and Malawi. Wildfires tear apart Indonesian rainforests and Oregon coastal forests. And on top of it all, the size of typhoons and hurricanes are getting bigger in the last 15 years. When all of these weather events are compiled together, it's not hard to see that weather is getting more extreme. But is the rise in extreme weather caused by a changing climate? Well, yes, but often when people ask that question, they are trying to tie one specific weather event to climate change, which...
Okay. So now, what's the video about? Can you write your answers in the chat box? And how many words about extreme natural events do you remember? Okay, extreme weather. What else? There were some more, yes, the video is about extreme weather, very good. Climate change also. It's about the climate, yes, very good. It's about how the weather is changing. Yes, they are also called natural disasters. But actually, I think that is wrong. Because natural events or natural extreme events is because we are causing damage to the nature. Very good. Okay, so take notes. If you remember, I will give you 20 seconds so you can write the words that you remember about extreme natural events. Hardest climate events, drought. Very good, Griselda. Do you remember another word? Wildfires. Very good. Hurricane, drought, tornado, wildfires. Very good. Nice. So you were paying attention. Actually, drought, it was like in a big circle there. but then they mention more words about extreme natural events. So let's check. Do you remember the meaning of extreme natural events? So they are short-term changes in the weather or in the environment that can have long-term effects. This is actually a documentary. It was 6 minutes long, so I have to shorten the documentary so you can only focus on some of the words that we already learned. There are some new words though. Tsunami, flood. Do you remember these words? Drought. There was a big circle in where you can actually see the word written, drought. Typhoon. This is a new word. Storm. Hurricane. And wildfires. So the new words in this video that we have here are typhoon and wildfires. And we're going to look up the meaning of them. In the case of wildfires, these happen in a rural area. So most of the times these natural events happen in rainforests, and they actually have a season. So when it's a drought season, they have wildfires. Let's take a look at the meaning of these words. I picked some of them so you can actually look at their meaning, because after this we're going to take a quick quiz so you can practice, okay? Yes, last year it was in the Amazon. They have a wildfire, and they're also, I think, was in Canada. Okay, so vocabulary, extreme natural events. So I took this meaning from the Merriam-Webster dictionary. So the first word that I wanted to give you the meaning is tsunami, a great sea wave produced especially by submarine earth movement or volcanic eruption. So a great sea wave produced especially by submarine earth movement or volcanic eruption. And I want to give you a fun fact about tsunami. Tsunami is a Japanese word with the English translation harbor wave, represented by two characters. The top character, that is su, means harbor, while the bottom character, that is nami, means wave. Isn't that fun? Then we have flood. Okay, flood. A rising and overflowing of a body of water, especially onto normally dry land. So when it rains a lot, there is a rising of water and onto normally dry land. Then we have drought. Drought is the opposite of flood. Is the opposite of flood. Typhoon. A hurricane occurring especially in the region of Philippines or the China Sea. And then we have the hurricane. With teacher Pedro, we were like, aren't they the same? Typhoon and hurricane? Because if you look in the dictionary, hurricane is a tropical storm and a typhoon is also a tropical storm. And they're both with strong winds that goes between 74 or more miles per hour, or rain that is usually accompanied by rain, thunder, lightning, and that sometimes move into warm latitude. And we wanted to say that there are differences Teacher Pedro, will you help me with that? What were the differences between typhoon and hurricane?
Yes, hello students. So the only difference between a typhoon and hurricane is that the typhoon happens in the Pacific Ocean, on the other side of the world, where Asia countries are. They usually have this during summer, and now their summer is on June, July, and August. And hurricane happens in the Atlantic Ocean. As teacher Blanca said, they are basically the same, but according to the geographic area, the name is just differs from the name.
Yes. Thank you, teacher.
You're welcome.
And another thing, someone was mentioning cyclone. Yeah, well, the cyclone is a system of wind, so they are rotating. And so sometimes when you go to the dictionary and you see the meaning, or you're looking for the meaning of hurricane, it will say a tropical cyclone. And a cyclone is like is how the wind rotates. So a cyclone is a synonym of typhoon and hurricane. Okay, 74 miles per hour is like 120 kilometers per hour. Yes, thank you, Victor. Nice. So these are some of the vocabulary that I picked from the video that you were watching. And also I wanted to let you know about typhoon, because you will probably find this vocabulary or in the test or in the quiz, or maybe in a reading part. And also I wanted to share the fun fact about tsunami. And as you know, English has a mix of languages, so that's why it's fun. Now, dun dun dun, are you ready? So we're going to take a quick quiz. And what you're going to do is you go to your browser and complete the vocabulary quiz. Teacher Pedro is going to help me with the link that is on the chat box. So you have to go there, click, and it will show you this. So you have to click. It's a multiple choice quiz. So I will give you 2 minutes. You can enter? Are you sure, Emilio? Okay, hold on 1 second. Can you try it again? Teacher Pedro is sharing the link again with you. What you have to do is copy the link and go to your browser and paste on your browser. Or another problem, that could be internet connection, yes. Because it's windy, so we might have some internet problems. Wow, Alejandra, you're fast. That was quick. Johnny also finished. Wow, Yes, very good. So these quiz are similar to the quiz that you need to take from the CCPA platform. As you know, each unit has vocabulary, has grammar, and also communication. And you have to, the thing is that you have to practice English every day, at least 15, 20 minutes, half hour. So the platform gives you exercises, and if you cannot complete the activities, let's say you only match, the score is 10, so you did only 5, you can take it again until you get the score that you need in order to go to the next quiz. Okay, Jonathan, Johnny, Anna, you finished, right? So it was easy? Was it easy? I bet it was easy, since I was sharing some meanings of the words, and some of the words were from previous classes, and you also have an extra class with teacher Pedro on Thursday, so you must have seen one of the words in the reading activity that you have. Very good, Emilio, Kenji, Johnny, Griselda, great job. You can practice as many times as you want. Okay, very good. So let's move forward. I have this next slide. Can you guess the pictures? What do you think they might be? Can you write them down? Candles. Very good. So there might be candles, or there must be candles. There might be a table, or it may be a chair, right? What else? It might be a hammer, or it must be a hammer. What about here? So it must be candles. There must be candles. There might be a chair. There must be plates. There might be a book. Yeah. There must be candles on plate. Okay. Nice. And this other picture? Yeah, there's no electricity. That's why they're using candles. Do you think that there might be a party, a birthday party maybe? Yeah, there might be a water bottle. Very good. Can you tell me what is this? Or what do you think that might be? Or do you play video games? Okay, there might be a box, or there must be a book. Someone said there might be a book, or it might be a book. Okay, it must be a PlayStation one then, right? Okay, so it might be a surprise party. But it could be an experiment, or, well, it can be a party because we're in quarantine, right? It must be a blackout. So when there is no electricity and you're using candles, you're not using candles only for a birthday party. We use candles when we have blackouts, when there is no electricity. Remember at the beginning of the class, I told you that we have a storm? We had a storm 2 days ago. And so we had a blackout. Electricity gone. So we have to use candles. Okay, let's go to the second picture. If you are guessing, you can say it might be a box. It could be a gift, right? Or it can be a box. It must be a video game. Yes, it's a PlayStation 1 video game. It must be a hammer. Yes. So it must be a hammer. Well, the thing is that in my house, this is called motivation. I don't remember if it was Kenji that said that he had a lot of homework. Well, my kids also had a lot of homework, and because they didn't want to do homework, we have to give them a little motivation. Okay, so it could be, it can be, it must be. Do you remember what are they, or what are they called? No, I'm not angry. I'm just motivating my kids. So it might be, it could be, it can be, it must be are modal verbs. Do you remember that is grammar from last class? And do you remember when do we use them? When we are guessing. So in this case, we were guessing. Right? So we were guessing about what happened in this picture, or what do you think is going on the picture? Why do we use that? What could be, what might be, or can be. Okay, now let's go to grammar. So these are called degrees of certainty. And they are models of possibility. And something that I want to tell you is that must, can't, might, may are modal verbs, and they are followed by a main verb. So be here is your main verb. When do we use must or must be? When you are certain about that something is true. And you use can't be when you are certain that something it is not true. And there are some examples. The wind is getting stronger. There must be the hurricane. Your sister can be in Bangkok. She's flying on an airplane. And remember, when we are talking about degrees of certainty, we must have some previous information in order to guess if we're talking about certainty and we are sure or we know that this is true. We have an information, a previous information, okay? Then we have maybe, might be, and could be. Last class, one of you asked, what are the differences between maybe and might be? And of course, also could be. And we use them first when you are not sure if it is true, but it is possible. There is a slightly little difference between may and might. So might is less certain than may, and could is also less certain than might. And here we have some examples. The lights are on. He might be at home, but you don't know, but it might be possible that he's at home. She speaks Portuguese. She might be from Brazil. Your sister could be somewhere without internet. So we use might be, and could be when you are not sure if it is true, but it is possible. And here we have the differences between might not and might not. When do we use may not and might not? Are used to talk about things we aren't sure of. When we're not sure of something, we use may plus not or might plus not in order to do a negative form, right? He may not be home by now. He left 15 minutes ago. Again, we have a previous information. Your sister might not be home. She was on the bus. Okay, now let's do another quick quiz. Again, Teacher Pedro is going to share the link with you. So again, you have to go to your browser, copy the link that Teacher Pedro shared with you in the chat box, and paste it on your browser. And it would look like this. Is this one. So make sure to complete this. You got it? So the first quick quiz was about vocabulary. And this second one, it's about grammar. So 2 minutes again. You can finish the quiz. Hold on. Something went wrong. Okay. What do you see in each picture? If you have your books, you can use your books. But since some of you probably don't have books, I post the picture from the book on the slide, so we can do it all together. Can you write them in the chat box? Picture A. No, what do you see in the picture? There is a girl. A person realized that he's late. Okay, is in the morning, is at night. Picture B. You are going very fast. Everything is moving. Very good. Yes, because here you can see the lights, the lamp, the light table. Everything is moving and she looks scared. So they're all scared, right? And what about picture B? It's a big wave, right? She's pointing at a big wave, so it must be a tsunami. Very good. And also you can see people running. And picture C, there is a guy that is pointing at a hill or mountain. There is snow coming down of the mountain. And it must be an avalanche. Okay. Very good. So, okay, what we're going to do now, we're going to listen to people talking about extreme natural events, okay? And we're going to complete these boxes. And here we have their names. Of course, you have to number the pictures and at the same time listen to the information and write the information. So we have Lucy, Adam, and Maggie. Where were they? Who were they with? And what did they think first? And I wrote some information. I already wrote them. So Lucy, she was in South America. Adam, he was with his girlfriend. And Maggie thought that there was a famous person in the hotel. So now you have to pay attention and write the missing information.
Page 67. Listening. 1. Lucy.
I was traveling with my sister in South America when there was an earthquake near the town where we were staying. We were in a student hostel, and she was in a different room from me. I was asleep when it started, and I woke up because my bed was shaking. First I thought, oh, it must be my sister. We have to get up. Then I realized it can't be my sister. She's in a different room. Then a bell started ringing, and I heard someone in the hall. He was speaking in Spanish, but I don't understand Spanish. So I went to the door, and people were running down the hall. "Don't use the elevators!" someone shouted. Then I realized it must be an earthquake.
2. Adam.
There was an avalanche when my girlfriend and I were on a skiing vacation in Aspen, Colorado. Fortunately, we weren't actually skiing at the time. We were in the coffee shop in our hotel. I heard a noise, and at first I thought it must be thunder. But then I looked out the window and the sky was blue. So I thought, it can't be thunder. There are no clouds in the sky. Then someone shouted and pointed at the window on the other side of the coffee shop. There was a huge avalanche coming down a nearby mountain. We all stood there and watched the snow. It was incredible. Fortunately, no one was skiing on the mountain at that time.
3. Maggie.
I was on a family beach vacation in the Philippines last year when there was a tsunami. I was sleeping in my hotel room when it happened. I woke up when I heard shouting. I thought, what on earth is going on? I thought someone famous must be at the hotel. It was possible. We were staying at a very expensive hotel. Anyway, I went onto my balcony and people were running away from the beach. And this kind of wave was following them. I was so lucky I was on the 4th floor of the hotel.
Okay. Did you write the information? So, Lucy, who was she with? She was with her sister. Very good. And what did she or they, what do you think they thought first? Or in this case, Lucy, what did she think first? Yes, she thought it was her sister. Okay, very good. So Lucy was with her sister and she thought her sister was waking her up. And what about Adam? Where was Adam? Colorado. Very good. He was with his girlfriend and what did he think first? He thought it was thunder. Very good. And what about Maggie? Where was she? Philippines. Okay, she was in the Philippines. And who was Maggie with? With her family. And they thought that there was a famous person in the hotel. So this is the same activity that you have if you have your books. Hold on, let me show you. Oops. Oh, my screen for some reason stopped. So this is the listening activity that we did, that is in your book, on page 67. And there is also another activity that is a listening plus. If you have your book, there is a way in where you can go to scottline.com and you can download the audio for each unit in order to do the listening activity and complete the exercises, okay? Another activity that you have here is a reading activity that you probably did with teacher Pedro last class. It was about perfect storms. And I saw that you learned some new vocabulary there. Okay, let's continue. So you finish this part. And as I say, if you want to do extra activities, you have to go to your books and download the listening part. Okay? So let's wrap up. If you have your books, you can go to the page for the grammar activity, for the grammar bank. And we use must be, maybe, might be, could be, and can't be to talk about degrees of certainty. When we are certain or uncertain about something that is or might be possible, depending on the information that you have. And here we have some examples. I saw her going on into her house. she must be at home. So you are almost 100% sure it is true because you have a previous information, and the information is that you saw her going into her house. The second example, she speaks Portuguese. She might be from Brazil. I'm not sure if it is true because you don't know. She didn't tell you, yes, I am from Brazil. You just know that she speaks Portuguese. The third example, I just saw him in the park. He can't be in the library. So here you are almost 100% sure it is not true. Why? Because you saw him at the park. So he cannot be in the library. And here we have the degrees of certainty. So we use must when we are 100% sure if it is true. You use may, might, could. Not sure it is true, but it's possible. And then must not, couldn't, and can't. Almost 100% sure it is not true. And the differences between may not and might not and can't. He may not or might not be at home. It is possible that he is not at home, but I am not sure. And he can be at home. I just saw him in the park. It is not possible that he is at home. And after this explanation, you also have the exercises to complete it in your books. Are there any questions? No questions? Okay, remember, this is a very important information, guys. You need to go to the CCPA platform. There you will find the schedule for the classes, for the quizzes, and also for the final exam. And please go to the platform and do the quizzes because these quizzes are important for your record. We are going to have your grades based on the quizzes that you take for each unit. If you are not sure about them, as I say, don't worry, take the quizzes and you can take it up to 3 times until you get the 75%. That is the minimum, okay? Candy, well, the quizzes that you are doing with me and teacher Pedro, they are just practice quizzes. We are helping you to get used to some of the platform that we have, and the other quizzes that are in the CCPA platform are the ones that are for your grades, okay? So today we did 2 quizzes. Last class you did it with teacher Pedro, and probably the next class you will do it another one. And these are part of the class. And as I say, they are practice quizzes. And remember that you need to do the ones that are in the platform, okay? And if you have more questions about the quizzes, yes, there is a email. You have to write it to Raquel Martins, so rmartins@ccpa.edu.pi. And you can write your questions. You can write in Spanish, no problem with that. So there is no excuses, guys. And if you don't have any more questions, thank you very much, PS4 students. You didn't do your quiz, Kenji? You can write, as teacher Pedro was saying, you can write an email to teacher Raquel Martins, and she will answer your question, okay? Thank you very much, guys. Have a great weekend, and see you next Saturday. And don't forget that you have also classes with teacher Pedro on Thursdays. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.